YouTube fam, it's your girl TK, and I am at home vlogging, darling. And today I've decided that I wanted to get online real quick, and I mean real quick and speak to you guys about Mr. Donald Trump. Of course, you guys know that he was the 45th president of the United States, and he's currently running for re-election. You know what I'm saying? He's out here trying to make America great again. He's definitely having that MAGA goal and set. He's a Republican voter, or he's a part of the Republican Party, I should state. Now, in this video in particular, we're going to be talking COVID. I don't know if y'all realize it, but COVID has actually been attached to Donald Trump. Did you know that? If you did not know it, it's time to pay attention. COVID-19 was introduced when he was the 45th president of the United States, and a lot of people didn't know what to do. Stores was closed down, things were shutting down. He had to literally put things in a place that he didn't think that he would ever have to do. And he was faced with 400,000 deaths by the time he left office. Keep in mind, before he left office, the first thing that Donald Trump was saying, COVID was a cold. It wasn't serious, but 400,000 people are attached. 400,000 deaths, are attached to COVID. Also, I want you guys to know with COVID, we're going to be talking research and why is it important for us to be discussing that. Also, I want you guys to know that COVID is also attached to a mask. Beyonce knows Carter. She's known for saying it's a worldwide hoodie and a mask outside. You know, she gives reference to the worldwide hoodie and the mask outside. But do you know that the Klu-Klux-Klan are members who also wear hoodies and masks outside, you know, and they are a part of terrorism. So I want you guys to know in this video, we're going to talk terrorism and what it means by definition. Also, do you realize that COVID research, the Klu-Klux-Klan, they're all a part of a national security breach. So we're going to be talking spillage. There's a lot of information that we're going to be discussing in this video. So I'm hoping you guys are prepared to deep dive. Now, I've already told you that Donald Trump is the 45th president of the United States, but I want you guys to know that there's a joint person that's connected to him, and you may not see it, but there is, and that is myself, Tanya Knowles. I want you guys to know that I breached the U.S. Constitution when I alleged that prohibited personnel practices were occurring within the federal government, and no one was speaking up. And according to 5 U.S.C. 2302 B8/9, a prohibited personnel practice is any law, rule, or regulation that has been violated, okay? And you speak up and you say that that law was violated. Unfortunately, in this situation, as I was stating that these laws, rules, and regulations were violated, no one had wanted to address the situation. They wanted to kind of like, you know, keep it quiet. They wanted to dust it under the rug. And that's what they've been doing thus far. Now, to get my point across, I want to tell you guys what terrorism means, okay? Now, if you don't know, it's okay. I'm going to give you this definition right now. So terrorism is a violent criminal act committed by individuals and/or groups to further ideological goals stemming from domestic influence, such as those of a political, religious, social, racial, or environmental nature. That is what terrorism is. And as a matter of fact, I've already told you that terrorism is attached to Donald Trump. It's attached to researching COVID as well as the Klu-Klux-Klan. And we're going to talk about that being a national security breach. Also, I wanted to ask you guys a question. So hopefully you guys are prepared. The first question that I have for you is, did you know that COVID was considered lab research? Did you? Well, if you didn't, I want you guys to know that the good people from the CDC, the Center for Disease and Control Prevention, actually stated that. As a matter of fact, Dr. Robert Redfield, former director of the U.S. Center for Disease and Control, testified how science indicates COVID-19 infections were likely the result of an accidental lab leak. So now we're talking spillage. Now we're talking national security breaches. Anyhow, I want to go on. He talks about it being a lab leak in Wuhan. Excuse me. Also, his conclusions is based on the biology of the virus itself and unusual actions in and around Wuhan in 2019, including gain-of-function research at the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Also, I have another question. Are you aware that China's government hid samples, destroyed evidence, and imprisoned journalists just for speaking up about COVID? Did you know that? Now, I want to tell you, a person named Jamie Manson testified how China's government destroyed samples, hid records, imprisoned Chinese journalists, prevented Chinese scientists from saying or writing anything on pandemic origins without prior government approval, actively spread misinformation, and prevented an evidence-based investigation. Isn't that interesting? Now, I want you guys to have a better understanding of what Co-Vid means. Now, if you don't know, COVID is two or joint, and vid is video. So basically, COVID means a joint video is occurring. Did you know that? If you didn't, you know now. Now, let's go on because I have a question for you. Question, are you aware that there is a monarchy attached to the U.S. Constitution? Of course, I've already told you it was myself, and it was, I was attached to the U.S. Constitution when I breached the Constitution through the Merit System Protection Board. My docket number was 2019-1987. I also breached it again with the U.S. Supreme Court. So you can always look on there if you're looking for specifics. Now, I want to go on and ask a question. Question, are you aware that research is attached to classified documents and the head of state and imprisonment? Are you aware of that? I'm sure you are, because in the news as of recent, we've been talking Donald Trump, or people have been talking Donald Trump, classified documents, indictments, the Department of Justice. So you should be aware of that. This isn't new information for you. Now, note this. According to 28 CFR Part 512, research projects and researchers, in all research projects, the rights, health, and human dignity of individuals involved must be respected. The project must have an adequate research design and contribute to the advancement of knowledge about corrections. The project must involve medical experimentation. The project must not involve medical experimentation, cosmetic research, or pharmaceutical testing. The project must minimize risks to subjects. Risks to subjects must be reasonable in relation to anticipated benefits. The selection of subjects within any one institution must be equitable when applicable. Informed consent must be sought and documented. Furthermore, Donald Trump violated research requirements. I want you guys to understand how Donald Trump is not only attached to, COVID, but he also is a violation of research requirements. Now, let me tell you why. Donald Trump called COVID a lab experiment and attached it to the monarchy. Did you know that? 2, Tanya Knowles' title as monarchy is being held hostage. In addition, the sovereign cannot be imprisoned. That's number 2. 3, the monarchy is attached to medical experiments, and that is a violation of the law. Did you realize that? Did you know that? 4, holding the title monarchy hostage created a national security breach. And again, note that when Donald Trump left office, he left office with 400,000 plus deaths that occurred due to COVID. Question, are you aware that when the monarchy was attached to the Constitution, there was a worldwide hoodie and a mask outside? That's what Miss Beyonce is rapping or singing about. There's a worldwide hoodie and a mask outside, just in case you forgot how we act outside. That's what she's rapping about. So did you realize that? Now, I want you guys to know that there's going to be 2 worldwide hoodies out. There is a medical mask, okay, which is a personal protective equipment that is used by healthcare professionals. But are you aware that but are you aware that the hoodie and the mask is used by the Ku-Klux-Klan? Now, the Ku-Klux-Klan is commonly shortened to the KKK, or the Klan is the name of several historical and current American white supremacist far right wing terrorists and hate groups. Question: are you aware that Donald Trump has associated himself with far right extremism? Are you aware of that? Well, if you aren't, I want you guys to know that Donald Trump attached himself to January 6th Save America, and he called for protests. Not only that, but on January 6th, white nationalists carried a Confederate flag, erected a gallows, and a noose on the lawn. Were you aware of that? Well, if you aren't, I want you guys to note it. Also, I want you guys to note that Donald Trump met with far-right extremist Nick Fuentes, and hopefully I'm saying his last name correctly because I can mess it up. He met with Nick and had lunch. Also, number 5, Donald Trump, former White House advisor, was a proponent of the Great Replacement theory and recommended websites and literature on white nationalists. Number 6, Steve Bannon, former White House chief strategist and campaign head of Donald Trump, told a crowd of politicians, "Let them call you racist. Wear it as a badge of honor." You know? So he's saying wearing a racist badge of honor is cool. And this is a part of the, basically the president's staff saying it's okay. You can do this. Number 7, Donald Trump defended Kyle Rittenhouse, the teen who killed 2 people and injured another amid Black Lives Matters protest in Kenosha, Wisconsin in 2020. Note, Kyle Rittenhouse was seen fraternizing with members of the far-right group of the Proud Boys and flashing a white power symbol. Now, ain't that a thriller? Such a young age, and he's already considered part of terrorism. Anyhow, he was acquitted of murder. He was acquitted of murder charges against him after he argued that the killing was in self-defense. Question: are you aware that Donald Trump stated that he would not rent to Hispanics and blacks in the 1970s? Are you aware of that? Donald Trump is a terrorist who is attached to the right wing extremism, which is really sickening. It's really sickening. Now, isn't that a thriller? That the president of the United States is not only a national security risk, he is connected to the FBI watch list due to far-right extremism. He is a part of the FBI watch list. I think that's absolutely giving thriller. But you'll have to let me know what you guys are thinking in the comment section up below. I would love, love, love to know your thoughts, your opinions, and attitudes on this whole situation. Anyhow, I'm going to go. I just wanted to make this video. It's kind of lengthy, and I do apologize. I'm not going to do any editing. I'm just going to upload it and give you guys my thoughts and see if you guys have any opinions on it. Again, everything that I have documented is available on my community tab. So make sure that you guys are paying attention, okay? Peace, love, and happiness, guys. Bye.